Oh my God. Oh my God. Hello and welcome to the Sunday service with me, Super Tan, who has just completely cocked up her intro once again. First of all, OBS would not play or start the stream properly. And then I was, for some reason, it had muted the mother of... Oh my God. Anyway, this was always going to be disorganised anyway. Because I have not prepared anything for today. I am running purely on fumes, I have to say. And that's because I have, for once, had a relatively sociable week. An amazing week, actually. Went to see Smashing Pumpkins and Skunk Nancy in my hometown. A lot of you that are familiar with Graham's channel will know that who was there? Scott was there. Graham was supposed to come, but he couldn't make it in the end. But just as a bit of housekeeping as well for the stream tonight, I didn't want to be a Bobby Bollocks and not stream at all, but I am dealing with eye strain. Yeah, that eye really hurts for I don't know what reason. So I might not be on as long this evening, but I thought I'd stick my head around the corner and I would say hello for a little while this evening, despite, I was going to wear sunglasses. I was going to do a Stevie Wonder. It's just this eye. I don't know what's wrong with it. But there's my little list, like a nan of my ailments this evening. So anybody else got any ailments in the chat? That'd be nice, wouldn't it? But yeah, it was incredible. Yeah, I got to meet Skin from Skunk Nancy, who's just been my hero since, I don't know, I was like a dirty little grebo in my teenage years. Shout out to Diz, who I believe is moderating tonight. Shout out to the Witchy Goth. Oh, and hello, Silent. God, long time no see. Old school. So I'm not poorly. I've just got a really sore eye. It just aches. I didn't look directly into it, but I blame fiddling around with a laser pointer with the cats last night, because that's when it started hurting. So good evening, one and all. Yeah, as I was saying, I got to meet Skin because we followed each other. Got to meet Skin because we've followed each other on Instagram for, well, I followed her for a long time, and discovered that she was following me. And I said to her, I can't believe I sent her a DM. I didn't expect her to ever reply to it. I said, oh, you're playing my hometown tonight. What? And she replied back really quite quickly and was like, yeah, are you coming? And I was like, abso-fucking-lutely. And she arranged for me to go back after her set and meet her, which was one of the most epic things that I've experienced. I think I'm still a bit in shock from it all. So yeah, I know rubbing it it's like, it feels like strain, but I've never suffered from migraines. So yeah, if I have to dip off early and make this really short, that's why, because I'm not feeling up to scratch. I got a retweet from Malcolm Nance. Should I know who Malcolm Nance is? Who's Malcolm Nance? I have no idea who that is. No idea. But I can see that some of you guys are catching on to the oppressive heat wave that we've had here for the last couple of days, and I saw some of you doing business dealings in the chat whilst I was getting set up. Mrs. Nance's lads. That sounds like a made-up name. I'm gonna look this up whilst I'm here. If this turns out to be a... Okay, nothing more entertaining than someone tweeting something. Oh, American author. Oh, wow. Well, that's cool. That's cool, I suppose. Ex-CIA. It was possibly the tweet about the literal Nazis marching in a part of America with a police escort, which sounds an awful lot like the National Front back in the day, doesn't it? Precisely what happened with them. So, yeah, the kind of gathering outside hotels is still carrying on, and it is like so tragic, man. It's like one of the most like pathetically tragic things that I've ever seen in my life. They've started doing karaoke. Yeah. Karaoke. As I said in my video the other day, I don't even think, and I've said on streams before at the risk of repeating myself, I don't even think that they believe in any of this shit, really. Some of them don't. It's just something to do. It's just something to do for them to get together. And there was also something else disturbing that I saw that I want to bring to your attention, which has removed itself from my screen. But there was a guy with the kill 'em all sign, which is fine apparently. But apparently, like an old lady with a, Palestine action flag, that's the real issue here, isn't it? Urine Infectinov, thank you for the £5 super chat. Good evening from haunted Chillingham Castle. Hope you're tickety boo. Yeah, I'm a bit worse for wear this evening. Like, I don't know why I've got such a brain ache. It freaks me out because I never get headaches or aches of any description, really, normally. So yeah, but there's a thing about the ICE raids, isn't there, where there's been kind of like people pretending to be ICE operatives and the ICE operatives themselves who don't actually identify themselves. But there's been people like just kidnapping women off the street, basically, whilst pretending to be anonymous like ICE agents. And now we've got Reform UK encouraging male patrols of asylum sites when those men on the outside are statistically massively more likely to be the rapists and the domestic abusers. So women will feel even less safe walking around because you're basically putting abusive men into roles, like self-imposed roles, like what, to stand around outside these fucking hotels. Like, it is out of control. Mind you, the one in Epping should never, I don't think, have been, considering the presence of the far right and how long it's been established in Epping and Loughton, I don't think that they should have ever reopened it. But Labour decided to reopen it, which stoked tensions and allowed the far right groups to leap on it again, thus causing a knock-on effect across the country. Like, Labour could have just left that shut, put the people somewhere else. Yeah, so anyway, sorry. Richard Marsden, thank you for the $4.99 super chat. Why do the patriots who hate... Well, I don't know why I said it like that. Patriots. Why do the patriots who hate brown people spend their summers in Spain trying to get as brown as possible? Very good question. Probably because they're as thick as mints, mate. That's probably why. It's just mind-boggling. like the levels deep idiocy of this, and how like none of them can really explain it with any kind of real, like, actual brevity. Like there's no real explanation for it. There's no facts around it all. Timu Ice. Absolutely. I saw I've been trying to keep out of America. Well, literally, because God, I don't think they'd like me there. But I've been trying to keep away from that as much as possible. But there was a really great, there was an example of a guy who threw a Subway sandwich, wasn't there, at an ICE officer. And they're trying to charge him with terrorism. Christ alive. But what they're doing in America, what Trump's doing in America with DC, even though the crime rate is demonstrably dropping, is precisely the same kind of stuff you're seeing seeded here about our nation's capital, London. And Trump is, obviously, because he's an actual Nazi, let's not sugarcoat our words here, he is a Nazi, he's targeting areas or cities or inner cities with like large non-white populations. And that's exactly the same shit that they're doing with London. Despite the fact that, you know, swathes of London has not historically been conservative, and we all know how the Conservatives deliberately underfunded Labour councils in order to give the view that they're incompetent, whilst funneling loads of money via the so-called Levelling Up Fund into home counties, like affluent home counties areas. So, sorry, I'm just catching up. If your eye's laser related with a headache, definitely get some sunglasses on. Yeah, this is why I don't think I'm going to be able to do a very long stream tonight, because I have to have a bright light on me. And at the moment, I feel like this, with the bright light in my eye. It's that eye. Reminds me of Wayne's World. Why would we want to look at your eye? Is there something wrong with that weird eye? But yeah, I like the fact, Yuri says, that your Super Mario light has turned the mushroom into Bojo's clown nose. Yeah, it's very slightly improved him for a second. I know lasers can be dangerous. That really worried me. I mean, it's better than it was last night, but I wasn't looking at the laser. I was just like pointing it around the room for the cats to chase it, you know. But I stopped that pretty quickly. It was only about 10 minutes, so I'm going to get an eye test tomorrow. I'm going to book myself in, going to get my eye looked at and make sure everything is irie, literally irie. So yeah, I mean, what I think I'm going to be doing a little bit more in my content in this week is making comparisons between more comparisons between historical precedents and like what's happening in the modern age, because some of what is like the Sun King in France, when they had a monarchy, before they had the decency to throw them out, there was a certain king, the Sun King, who tried to kind of like clean up the streets of Paris. But what he meant by clean up the streets was, under the guise of charity, throw loads of people, like drug addicts, like sex workers, mentally ill people, into like these little cells. I think if my memory serves me correctly, my French history isn't that bad, but I'm not running on full eye capacity tonight. Yeah, Louis. I think it was the same hospital that Princess Diana died in. And they created these little kind of like cells that people were chained to. And that was his idea of basically cleaning up the streets of Paris and making it look respectable. That's precisely what Trump's doing with homeless people. He's threatening them with jail or a fine if they refuse to be cleared out. Not that I think that they're really doing much. The catacombs was that's where a lot of the that's where Robespierre ended up. Because I was learning a lot about the communards. Your English history is not good. This isn't English history, mate. I'm talking about France. But yeah, that's where Robespierre ended up, because I was learning about the communards, the resistance, short-lived, who were absolutely beasted. Was not good. Oh, thank you. Oh, Diz, you're here. You didn't get a notification. Les Invalides. It's an outrage what's happening in America, but the extent to which it's being replicated here, and you've got, like, it's not just the people that want Trump to take us over. That just hurt my eye. I can't even roll my eyes. Maybe this has been caused by rolling my eyes so much. Maybe that's it. Maybe my eyes have rolled back in my head so much at the ridiculousness of this. I don't know if it is Les Invalides. Is that the one where Princess Diana died? I was watching a documentary recently, but you didn't get a notification also. Have you got notifications on for me? I don't know if you've got notifications on for me. I mean, this is very loose tonight. I mean, I am strongly relying on you in the chat to ask me questions, and I will throw in bits here and there. But if you've got anything that you want to add, or you want to ask me, let me know. I might have to get an eye patch. You won't be laughing, will you? You won't be One angry pagan. I love it when idiots try the English history shit when they barely know anything themselves. Yeah, our history is very very shameful, actually. But I like the way that you did the A on the E there, because that reminds me of Ethelfled. Not Ethelfled. Ethel. Oh, for fuck's sake, I can't remember his name. Ethelfled. Was it Ethelfled? No. There was a kind of like a really early figure in folklore that my Ethelred. That's it. Sorry, my friend started a folk band called Ethelfled, and one of the guys, the guy that accompanies her, plays a lyre, like a medieval lyre. Fascinating. But I'm not on the ball tonight. Smashing Pumpkins were not my type. They're not my cup of tea normally. So I didn't really absorb as much of their gig the other night, I have to admit. But I remember them from my teenage years when they were already quite old. Ethelfled was a man. Alcestan! That's it! Alcestan. We're learning everything here. We're learning so much, aren't we? I know I shouldn't have, considering my eye, but I finished off the last of my a glass of champagne. Youngblood's all right. Wow, this is like a history lesson in the chat tonight. You could hear them from your house. I really liked take their cover of "Take My Breath Away." I thought that was hilarious. Athelstan, yeah, good fella. Good fella. I love the way we just. I'm like fucking Trump. I'm like going back from thing to thing to thing. This is not going to be my finest moment, I don't think, in terms of live streams ever. I think that I have had better beginnings than this. I have been doing a lot of writing again this week. But, there's something that I wanted. Fucking weave. It's not a weave. It's a thick fuck losing his thread and rambling shit. I hate having to listen to him. It makes me physically angry. Having to endure that unimaginably thick fuck. I just can't deal with it, man. And then it's catching, isn't it? And I love the way they're all kind of like these guys are all following along like a bunch of little sheep when they're supposed to be the fucking conspiracy theorists. It's like you guys have talked for years about a conspiracy of paedophiles and a global elite. Turns out they're the ones in charge of America. But you're still not believing it when it's right there for the world to see. Unbelievable. Unfucking believable. It's like they're clearly all nonsense. That's why they want the job. That's why they want to be in control of one of the most, or what was one of the more powerful countries in the world. Now everyone is just trying to placate a fucking mental toddler with the nuclear codes. Oh yeah, he's so good at doing a deal. Everyone is backing away slowly from the nutter. Fuck. Think of the pets. Sorry, I'm not winking. I'm not flirting at you. Yeah, but Hunter's laptop. Yeah, it's I'm also not swearing at you. God, I've got a bad eye, man. If I do end up with I might actually end up with an eye patch, you know. I might end up going full pirate. It doesn't look red or anything. Just a bit squinty. A bit squinty. Innit? But no, I mean, the very same thing is kind of happening here in the sense that the people that are... I also hate this timeline, Diz. I hate it. But the people that are kind of like gunning for power now, people like Lowe, worth 30 plus million. Richard Tice, 21 to 40 million, much of which is inherited wealth. Farage, the Conservative estimate, no pun intended, was 7 million. They're all multi-millionaires. They live off dividends, capital gains. Assets. What do their base live off? Fucking beans. Universal credit. A cheap bag of K. I've had so many of them in my fucking messages, honestly. The other day, one of them had the audacity to reply to one of my messages saying, I don't have enough crayons to explain this to you. And I was like, yeah, I know, because you've eaten them all, you thick fuck. That's why. Just been munching on the fucking crayons. Because you're thick. I'm not holding back from calling them thick. We have access to so much information. So much information. Another one, Can't wait to see you on the 13th at the counter demo, which I'm going to tell you about in a minute. I was like, I wouldn't be able to see you, would I? Because you're so fucking short. And basic. It would just look like, I don't know, the kind of like leftover stock from JD Sports, yet soiled in a row. Just, they're all so short. Just the smell of Lynx Africa and spice in the air. Fuck me. Right, okay. Pausing the roast. Urine infectional. Thank you, darling. £5 super chat. What's Supertansky's favourite letter? You think it's R, but it's actually the C. I'm sorry, I'll get my coat. Anyway, as I was saying, shortism. Careful, Tan, that's your mating pool. Mr. Boxing videos, I would sooner take a needle and thread and sew myself shut than ever let myself near any of them. Yeah. In fact, just the sight of them makes my vagina go, huh! You know. Hope that helps. Hi, Tan. Oh, hacks. Fuck me. Hack Solar 5548. Thank you so much for the super chat. Why, yeah, man, it's a super chat. I can't do accents, man. That's the closest I've ever got to doing an all right accent. Hi, Tam. What do you think of Zohan Mamdani? Also, is there any UK equivalent you can think of? I think he is the titties. He's a breath of fresh air, that man. And I do not think that we have one, but we need one. Precisely what we need. It's like Gavin Newsom, right? They are not shying away from taking on the fascist. We definitely need something like that. Undoubtedly. We really do. But I don't think we've got someone. And people better not start saying things like, oh, Zach Polanski, because he's a prick. I can't stand Zach Polanski. I'm open about it. Maybe shouldn't say prick, but I just really don't like him. He just comes across as so disingenuous. It's like NLP, media training, levels of disingenuous, you know. He's not sincere. Plus, there was that Sun article where he tried to make women believe they could think their tits bigger. Hypnosis, pseudoscience, bollocks, it's a con. Don't trust the guy. He also went to private school. Veg Pie 6165. Thank you. We love you, Tan. And I love you. More than you'll ever know. More than you'll ever know. That's not a dating pool. That's a dating puddle, says Trip Trip. They've tripped into a dating puddle that's just purely inhabited by piss, I'd assume. Yeah, not cool. I don't know what is apparently TMI. If you're talking about me sewing myself shut or my vag recoiling, then tough titties, I'm afraid. Yeah, Gavin Newsom's doing some great trolling. Supertansky is the new Mamdani. I do not think so. I have no desire to be anywhere near the seat of power. None. None whatsoever. In fact, I couldn't actually imagine anything worse than that. It would be terrifying. But I can't remember what I was saying. Diz, what did Diz say? Alistem. I've actually never heard the word Alistair, the name Alistem. I've heard Alistair. I always assumed that it was just like an M, as in Alistair M something. Zach Polanski is markedly disingenuous. Plus, he actually joined in on a pile-on on me for no fucking reason years ago. Not a fan. And I don't mind the greens, you know. The funniest, like the most laughable example of a made-up name that I've seen is, I'm going to find his full name. Hang on a minute, because this is hilarious. Again, I told you, it's all about the prep. It's all about the prep, no trouble. Jamie McIver of Reform UK, right? Far right shithouse. Openly far right shithouse. He spells his name Jaymey. It's Jamie spelt phonetically. If that's not parents that have given up on life and themselves, I don't know what is. Before they decided to, you know, obviously shit that arse hole into the world. He was actually suspended from the Conservatives in 2024 for sending unsolicited images of his dick to people. Yeah. He was due to stand as a Tory parliamentary candidate in July 2024, but was suspended and then expelled. But he denied having sent a picture of his knob to someone. But it emerged that he had. But fortunately, the person that received it didn't know how to zoom. No, it's not spelt Jaime like the French version. Jaymey. Jaymey. Jamie. Leave Siobhan out of it, man. Leave Siobhan out of it. Like, the Irish have got their own shit going on, which is, it's got Celtic origins. This is just chavs not knowing how to correctly name their terrible children. He's an absolute piece of work. Really is. Been turning up at Epping, hasn't he? Protect our women. But maybe not the ones that I, send pictures of my dick to without them asking. Yeah? Reform, protect our women. But shh, don't mention the guy that we kept as MP despite knowing that he had domestically abused his girlfriend by kicking the shit out of her outside of a club. Yeah. Who we only got rid of because he committed fraud. Not the fact that he had battered a woman. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. I thought someone in the chat had just changed their name to Jamie then, but it's Elm J. Tan, you should bang on about whatever floats your boat, then only read out text when you get a super chat like Politics Social. Normally would. But I've got very little prepared tonight because I've got a sore eye. So I'm dipping in and out of what I want to say, just like your dad. dips in and out of your mother. But I don't want to give away too much about what I'm actually going to be putting in videos, even though I suppose not enough people are going to watch this and then watch my videos to be disappointed or feel like it is, what's it called? Like just repeating myself. God, I'm going Theresa May. But yeah, Jamie McIver is a total shit house. I've just lost my notes. I did have some notes here. Some of the notes that I've been writing this week have been massively angry, to the point where I'm actually finding them very difficult to read them back, because I've written them in such, in such anger. But the overarching point of them is trying to emphasize how the figureheads are not in it for kind of for the good of serving people, when they've literally had servants all their lives. Absolutely the opposite of that. It's just not even factoring in to anything. And the header that I've used for these notes is the things that are boiling my piss. Now, some of it is stuff that I put into my video about Lewisham the other day. Some of it is not. So it's kind of, I'm trying to kind of like ride the wave between the two. Thank you for the super chat, Kirsty Hamilton. Maybe a reaction to mascara. I developed an allergy to waterproof mascara and similar symptoms you described. I don't think it is, no, because it's only one eye. And it is like a proper deep eye ache. And it's not kind of like irritation or redness. It's the kind that kind of makes you want to kind of like claw at your own head. It's that kind of ache. And last night it was really worrying me because it was really quite bad. So I don't know. That was a great video, says Diz. Thank you. Yeah, I don't think it's that. Thank you for the suggestion, but I don't know. I don't think it is that. Ball Lake. Yeah, the Lewisham video I felt was really timely, which is another reason why I want to put a bit more about kind of like working class history into my videos so people can see. But what I was going to say is, I don't think that in many cases pointing out these things about Lowe or Richard Tice, etc., I don't think that that's going to make any difference to people. That are kind of like nothing, I think, that any of us say is going to make any difference to those that are, already radicalised. But what you need to do is you need to try and catch people before they get radicalised. So can people not start putting things in there about brain tumours and CT scans and all that kind of stuff and ambulances, because I really do not need that on my live stream when I'm trying to focus with an eye ache and have massive anxiety. It really is not cool. So please do not. I'm not asking for advice about my eye. I'm trying to concentrate despite it. So saying that to someone with anxiety is basically like telling them they're going to die. It's not. It's really not a good idea. The moment I get any ailment, I already think I'm going to die anyway. So, but it is probably, oh, Tiny's, the Kraken's awakened. Oh, hi, Tiny. Unlock me. Thanks, you bitch. Right. Oh God, Tiny gets warm, man. There's a title. Darren the Star, thank you for the £10 super chat. Friggin' JD Vance has destroyed mascara for everyone. I call him Big Head Baby Guyliner. That's what I like to call him. That and the couch shagger, but that's what everyone calls him, isn't it? That's what everyone calls him. No, one of the things that really freaked me out about his visit to the UK was how the captain of free speech was trying to get the fucking CIA to go into people's homes. I don't know if you guys heard about this. Getting them to, check their phones and their social media. Going into people's homes to check their homes and their social media. It's like, A, why do you need to go into their homes? Just look on... The whole point of it is that it's on fucking line. It's all online. Why the hell do you need to go into people's homes? And yeah, the Cotswolds, that van of that meme of him driving around absolutely sent me. It was another level. Another level. And these people are like the biggest babies when it comes to like anything that's said about them. Anything that's said about them, it's like, oh, we've got to clamp down on that. Really? Yeah, that's free speech, isn't it? The epitome of free speech. Anyway, I'm going to definitely keep this to a tight hour tonight, I'm afraid, because my eye hurts very badly. I haven't got a headache, I've just got an eye ache. So to take us up to 9:15, if anyone has got any questions, I'm sorry I'm not on the ball tonight. I'm just struggling with my weird eye and I'm losing focus. And now the group chat has put the fear of God into me and started making me think that something is deeply wrong. So I don't have very good focus as it is without this. So if anyone has any questions that they would like to ask me before I fuck off, hit the lines, you will get through. I'm just not very good with headaches, or eye aches. Anything in my face. It's all in your face, like, like toothaches, Felt like I'm falling apart lately, to be fair. Feel like I'm turning into a proper nan. Fred is okay. Fred's in the other room all curled up with Edie. They have had a very stressed out week because they got the fleas. So I had to treat them because I'd left it. I think I treat them every month, but I'd forgotten. And then obviously they just happened to be riddled with fleas. So, yeah, they are chilled now because they've had their flea treatment. So all is good with them, but they have been very yowly because they've been getting bitten by the little bastards. I've had to like hoover twice a day. Oh shit! I missed a super chat, did I? Sorry, hang on. JD Vance. Sorry, let me have a little look. I will find you and I will read you out. Oh, sorry, I think there's one I missed there too. Spain being burnt by fascist, horrific Vox party, says Stephen Merriman. I don't know much about the Vox party. It looks like that's someone for me to look up. The Vox party. Right, okay. Yeah, I'm not familiar with them. I mean, the thing is, I'm not as like all across like global politics broadly as much as I should be. Not at all, because it's just horrific enough here. Like I've tried not to absorb too much of what's going on in America. So I've really tried not to. But I will look into. I'm writing that down. One sec. Vox party written down. I will research and I will report back. It's probably going to be horrible though, isn't it? Pepe Lemoco. There's a paw sticking out the sofa. You made me look. That's actually a bottle lid. That's a bottle lid. Yeah. But at first I was like, shit. Have I trapped one? Have I trapped one? Darren DeStar, I'm a gay man. I've always appreciated how you do your makeup because like most women use your face as a work of art. How did you learn to do makeup? I don't really. I've never learned. I'm very bad at doing makeup compared to most women actually. All I do is like a little flick of eyeliner. And I don't have a lot of like loads of foundation on. But that's very kind of you to say. But I don't do a lot really. Well, I try not to do too much, otherwise I just look like I've never been very good at doing that. But it's very kind of you to say that. Thank you. Trying to see if I've missed anything. Again, guys, I don't need diagnoses on. Yeah, the fleas. That was a low point, man. That was a low point. There was no festivities last night. I had a very low-key night last night. It's a bottle top from a bottle of water, as they always take the piss out of us in America for bottle of water. Stephen Merriman, thank you for the super chat. Where's the place to buy a subscription? A subscription. A subscription to me. If you're referring to my my Ko-Fi account, it's in my bio, or it's in the body of this video. It's in the body. I've got a link there to my Ko-Fi account, if that's what you're referring to, which is more direct than anything on YouTube really. But yeah, I've again, guys, I don't need I don't need diagnoses, but I've had sinus infections in my life. This isn't a sinus infection. Oh, man. Who wants an OnlyFans? Well, he should start an OnlyFans then. Maybe you should. Good luck. Good night, Malkshon. Malkshon. There's memberships or there's subscriptions, isn't there? You can become a member of the channel, or you can... It looks like, it sounded like some of you are getting like the mad heat that we've had down here. Your turn to suffer. It was oppressive. My 95-year-old registered blind nan said JD Vance more like Tommy Vance. Very good. Your nan's evidently a legend. What I want to tell you before I go, though, is there is a Stand Up to Racism counter-protest on the 13th of September. Haha, you guys in Scotland know how we feel now. So yeah, it's going to be a outnumber the bastards moment. You know, it's a kind of be more Lewisham moment. So if you can get to London, that's where they're all congregating. So if you can get out, because they'll be coming from all over the country to London specifically, that's where they're going to be congregating. So if you can get to London, then you can help outnumber them directly. Yeah, be prepared. Darren De Star, thank you for the super chat. That's very kind of you. Half a contribution to buy cats a defleed fish fund. Half to buy Tansky a cocktail fund. That's very kind of you. Thank you. Oh, bless you. Yeah, I ended up having to buy 2 separate lots of bloody flea treatment. And I only ever have a cocktail like probably like once or twice a month. So thank you. Very kind of you. Raise that to you. That's not very nice. It was ridiculous. 27 degrees is high for Scotland. It was like 30 plus here, but it was like the most oppressive humidity that I've experienced all summer. Like, it was impossible to breathe. Like it felt like the air had hands, you know? It felt like the air had hands. Tapsaf. That's what I like about the Scottish, is they spell things phonetically, and that makes it really quite, you know, the closest I get to being able to do an accent. I use Advantage. Does the job. Do guys get taller as you drink, Tan? I can't do numerals. Sun King, Louis, yeah, I know, Louis the 14th. Thank you for adding that, so I didn't have to do the numerals. Yeah, it was quite nice here for the gig though. The gig was one of a kind. But no, if you can get to London on the 13th of September and outnumber them, that would be grand. We need all ears. It was fucking one ears. We need all of you. Don't know why I was quoting. Disgusting. Stephen Merriman says 43 degrees here. Big thanks to BPX on Shell. Where is here? Thank you for the super chat, Stephen. Where's here? I don't know where here is. No, Joe, it's not that your jokes aren't hitting. It's more the fact that I'm not exactly in my it's probably not my finest live. In fact, I would say tonight is quite possibly my worst live ever. Yeah. Bloody Spain. Y viva España. Hola, buenos días. 2 platos de patatas fritas, por favor. Y 2 cervezas. Y ron y Coca-Cola. Y jamón. Y jambo. Scotcho. No, it's the fact that I am I'm not at my best today. I've not had a very good day. That's why I was apologies if I've got a very low tolerance for like anything that's anxiety inducing. It's been an anxious day. I've had a sore eye. So I'm apologies for not being the best communicator tonight. Muy bien, hablas muy bien, hija, says Stephen for €2.49. Thank you, love. Muy bien, hablas muy bien, hija. I'm trying to remember what hija is. Is that sister? Don't know. As long as it's not puta. Puta's not a good word, is it? Neither's coño. Coño is probably one of mine. Now, Tansky, it's not your worst live ever. I've seen Graham when he's pissed out of his gourd. I don't think I've ever seen Graham pissed on a live stream. Daughter. Padre is father. Madre is mother. Abuela is, I know what coño means. Mierda. Me gusta marihuana porque es muy relajado. No me gusta marihuana porque es muy caro. That's what I said in my Spanish oral exam. I'm currently learning French. It's not going very well. I don't think Gabrielle had an eye patch. I think she just covered it with her hair. Gabrielle. Language with Tansky. I remember a fair amount of Spanish, but I have to be there for longer than like a week for it to kick back in again, and then it all goes again. Yeah, man, like rude words are the first words that I use that I learn in a language. Graham was 3 parts to the wind on one of his travel programs once. He was all over the place. It was brilliant. Sadly, he took it down. That's a shame, isn't it? That's a shame. Oh, Witchy Goth, lovely to see you. Thank you for the love on your channel. You guys should all give Witchy Goth a follow. She's a ledge. Well, I might end up with an eye patch. I don't know. It is feeling a little bit better now. It's just taking quite a while for my painkillers to kick in at the moment, which isn't great. Jambon. Jambon is ham. No, jamon. I don't know. I would say the same thing to the right. If you go looking for a fight, you better be able to fight. They're all lunch, no punch, most of them. Saucisson. Très bien. À répéter. S'il vous plaît. My pronunciation's terrible, but I'm learning. I'm retaining quite a lot of what I'm learning, and I am on the longest streak I think I've been on ever. When it comes to basic laser pointers, even fairly spicy ones, if you've not gazed directly into it, or reflection of sufficient brightness to notice, it is a non-factor in possible triggers. It happened immediately after I was like looking at the... I was wondering if like a refraction might have occurred. I don't know. It's amazing how this has turned into Gabrielle's eye patches. She's a Lewisham lass. Yeah, I am keeping it to a tight hour. You're correct. Thank you, Diz, for the reminder. I just feel rude keeping it to a tight hour, so to speak. But no, thank you for all putting up with me tonight, despite me not being at my best. I was hoping I think I got in a fair amount of piss taking early on. There were a few moments there where I got a few jibes in, but I am running on empty today. But I will be back and better next Sunday afternoon with God, who knows what would have happened by then. Anything could have happened, couldn't it? But no, thank you for your love and your support. Blepharitis. Here we go. But no, thank you for tuning in. And I will be back next Sunday to roast the fuck out of whatever's happened that week. So for now, thank you, good evening, and good night.